What's going on, Madden fans? Today we're going to be talking more about superstar X-Factor abilities because some of you guys have been asking me to break down some of the players that I think are going to be glitches in the game. Now, I really think that Russell Wilson is going to be a cheat code. As we look at some of the things that Patrick Mahomes does, I want you to see that escape artist and things of that nature. He's going to have that as well. But his superstar X-Factor ability is going to be a little bit different. And we're going to go into that in depth in a second. I just want to make sure you guys understand. The game is all about Patrick Mahomes. Just so that we're clear about that, it's sort of like this. When I broke down the Madden Ultimate Team, and you guys can see that Juju Smith-Schuster is actively in the writing, like they're telling you, like, yo, Juju's going to let you borrow his team. I've already released that video. Please check it out. The official Madden Ultimate Team video that shows you some of the stuff that you're going to need to know. These are things that I need you guys to understand and digest. Why do I need you guys to understand and digest this? It's very, very simple. This is why. When you look at the fact that a lot of these players, they are going to cater to themselves, it's very, very interesting the way that they've actually unlocked everything to make it so that players like Patrick Mahomes plays like himself, players like Russell Wilson plays like themselves. Because when you get out on the field, that's what you got. You're not going to be able to just say, you know what, I'm going to turn Russell Wilson into Tom Brady this game. You're going to be out there dealing with every single thing that that player has to offer. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at all of the star abilities that Patrick Mahomes has, you see all, the roaming deadeye, all that stuff like that, you're going to have to evaluate, specifically in MUT too. You're going to have to evaluate, what does your player bring to the table? What makes him different? Will I be able to win in the clutch? Is it better for me to have a field general? But, I play a psycho that's running, spy defense and sends one guy and I can't get out the pocket. And, for example, Tom Brady, that can't really move as fast, but he's very, very deadly in the pocket when you give him time and he can make some reads. So we go over to Russell Wilson now, who I believe is a cheat code. Now, if you were fortunate enough to play the beta, you played with the Seahawks, you would see that this dude moves around like no other. He's an unbelievable player in the game. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and bring up his actual file, and we're going to show it to you guys live in the video for you guys to kind of see what's going on. Now, he has a small stature, all right? My man comes in at 5'11", but the rumor is his hands is huge, all right? And then if you look in the bottom right, you can see he has what's called blitz radar. So for those of you guys that are going to have issues with pressure, because I've been hearing a lot of people complain about the fact that Aaron Donald is in your backfield, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was part of your offensive line. That's what Aaron Donald does. So if you're still complaining about that, you're going to have to get your game up, all right? But if you're one of those people that don't really like that situation, maybe you run with Russell Wilson, because it's going to show you every other extra blitzer. Once you get that ability going, you're going to see every other extra blitzer other than the D-line. So any corner, any extra linebacker, they're going to be highlighted. So you can make the read to either step up in the pocket or shift to either side. Now, it's very, very interesting how it happens, but let me go ahead and point this out. One of the good things that EA actually did this year with Madden 20, they allow us in franchise to get all of our actual X-Factors activated, which is so huge. You guys don't realize how huge that is. Let me explain something, right? I wanted to see the difference between the X-Factor with Double Me, with Julio Jones, and Juju Smith, right? So I made two separate franchises. Well, I made all franchises, but I'm saying I made a Steelers franchise, and then I made Atlanta Falcons franchise. Now, let me explain a couple things with the way that this worked. Ben Roethlisberger is a much better quarterback in the game than Matt Ryan. So he was able to put the ball specifically where Juju Smith can catch it. Matt Ryan had a lot of overthrows, underthrows, et cetera, right? It was weird, but he didn't really have everything that Ben Roethlisberger had. So it kind of made it easier to use the Steelers for the franchise, for him to activate his special X Factor with Ben, and also for Juju Smith-Schuster. So that was very, very good that they allowed that to happen. So now, when you go back, and I tell you guys about this right now, when you look at the fact that Russell Wilson has this superstar X-Factor ability, how do you activate it? That's the next question. Well, you're going to have to do what Russell Wilson does. Russell Wilson hasn't had a decent O-line in years, bro, and he's been making things happen, even without the Legion of Boom. So at some point, you guys are going to have to give him credit. Because I know a lot of you guys like to hate. Everybody wants to hate, yo, he was a product of the defense. Absolutely he was when he was young, but he's been able to evolve. And as he's evolved, he hasn't gotten, he got a pretty decent O-line now, but it's not that good. So when you look at this stuff, with the actual thing that he has with Blitz Radar, it highlights the extra blitzers after the ball is snapped. Like I said, defensive recognition. Extra blitzers that are not defensive linemen are highlighted during the play. So the trigger conditions, 5 scrambles of over 10 yards. All right, so look, this is the situation. He is decently accurate. I will tell you this as well. I did notice he and Baker Mayfield kind of threw the ball the same way. I don't know, exactly what's going on, but those two guys, Baker Mayfield is kind of a glitch in the game, to be honest. I really like the way he threw the ball as well. But with this right here, you might consider that kind of wild that they want you to scramble. But this is what's happening. Depending on the games that you play, each one is going to determine how you have to win it. That's why I'm trying to tell everybody that it's such a different game. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such, the way that everybody plays, the way that they move, all of the stuff that goes on is completely different. And that's why I continue to tell you guys, if people are telling you already that the game is garbage, you need to do yourself a favor and wait and give yourself a chance to get more insight into the game, understand what they're doing that's different. Now, when it comes to the patching aspect, I can't debate that with you because I've been one of the foremost upfront guys about the patches ruin the game. Like, that's what I'm saying to you guys. That's why I don't understand why everybody is not understanding what I'm saying, especially my regular viewers. Because if something is obvious, I'm going to say that that thing is going on. And playing the beta was a whole different game to me. Okay, so when you look at the way that his trigger conditions are, the only reason that you would have to scramble is if you come out and you're playing a guy like I described, a psychopath that's running, sag defense. He's just being an absolute idiot. He has no pride. He wears a SpongeBob G-string. He has his name on the orange juice. And he comes out running cover 4 drop with 3 spies and his mom's in the background. Those guys are going to allow you opportunities to run the ball. You're going to have an opportunity to run. So with that being said, with that opportunity, that's going to make it so that you're easily able to get these type of trigger conditions done just because the player is playing that way. Now, if he's blitzing everybody and you have to get the ball out fast, you throw a couple drags and you're not really able to scramble, Russell Wilson is still good enough to make those plays. It's just that you're going to be more advantageous if a guy comes out playing sag defense as opposed to blitzing. Because if he's blitzing everybody, like right here, you see like how there's nobody really blitzing and Cam Newton gets outside, but then the linebacker is back there to make sure he can't run. If they play defense like that, he can still make that play. But then look at Big Ben Roethlisberger. He has that pump fake action. People are going to respond to it because that's something that he actually does. He's still able to make the read. These are the things that you have to understand. Every single game that you play, it's not like Madden 19. You could come out literally and play like 5 or 6 games in a row, and it's all the same thing. It's a guy running cover 4 drop. He got on shades like he's a cop, and he looks like a moron, and he's just doing whatever he wants, and everybody's coming straight in. That doesn't happen, bro. It doesn't happen at all. And I'm telling, like I said, I played a lot of games, guys. I played a lot of games. I know a lot of you guys probably saw me in the top 20. I'm letting you guys understand very, very clearly. It's a completely different aspect, but you're going to have so many different ways to win. And not only that, Russell Wilson is very, very elusive. Like, he feels and looks like Russell Wilson. And when I say feels and looks, like his stature, he looks mad. He looks like Barry Sanders, bro. Like a short bowling ball dude, and he throws the ball pretty good on the run. He has all these other, attributes as well that makes him, pretty dangerous. Like, you can see his Twitter handle, Dangerous or whatever it is. He's very, very dangerous in this game. So for those of you guys that are going to still be asking me, yeah, Gmi, that's pretty difficult to get that many scrambles. That's my point. You're going to have the opportunity to do different things. You do not have to only do the one thing. You don't have to just automatically, because you have that as your superstar Xfactor ability, you don't have to make that be that thing. You don't have to make it so that, all right, you know what? I'm doing this just because that's a superstar Xfactor ability. You're going to have to play your game according to what your opponent is doing. And then through that, if you're able to get the Xfactor ability, that's just what it is. You're going to be able to get that done. That's the point. That's what I want you guys to understand. You see what I'm saying? This is the way that it is. Please understand what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Everybody has to understand this simple thing. When it comes to Madden 20, it's going to be very, very difficult to just do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to just come out there and just be like, you know what? I'm running this. I don't care what happens. I'm going to make sure that, This guy doesn't do this guy doesn't do that. You're gonna have to play according to what the person is giving you, offensively or defensively. And again, if he comes out and does anything weird, he's going to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the bottom line. If a dude comes out playing defense like this, even though this is on arcade mode and they allowed you to get bazooka, guess what? You're throwing the ball 80 yards and he's going to deal with it and he's going to like it. And that's going to be ultimately what it is. And there's going to be nothing else that you can do about it. It's point blank period. It's over. That's what Madden 20 is going to bring. Everybody is going to be unique and bums no longer reign in the Madden community. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. Share, like, subscribe. One love.